Hello and welcome to another 1v1 Supreme Commander 5 cast on this map via 3 Protectorate between Death Squad and Hatamoto. So this is generally where I criticize players who are better than me and do things better than me and try to have a lot of fun doing so. Both of these players are very well rated. Hatamoto is at rank 20 while Death Squad is at rank 33, so this should be a very competitive match. It's a fairly large map. Mass extractors are spread out all over the map, so and there's quite a lot of mass in this map too around each of these ridges, so we should definitely see a lot of patrol and engineers. We are also definitely going to see a lot of T1 play. There's just too much mass, and raiding is definitely potential here. We should see T2 land being very viable as well, and absolutely drops and air are definitely going to have to be part of the repertoire as well. I expect air factories should come second. There it is, already laid down. So yes, engineers are already on the reclaim route. Always best to try and get the mass into power generators first and then mass extractors, and try and use engineers to reclaim the mass early on, just so you can get those infrastructure up more quicker, or rather as quickly as possible. Probably going to see more engineers. I can't imagine hunters or the T1 lab raiding bots. I don't imagine we'll see very many of them. The map's just too big, right? And if you do go that route, you just, as an engineer, you basically trade in a hunter or who do you have here? You've got Cybran versus yeah, you basically trade in the T1 lab bot and the scout for an engineer, and on the map this size it's just much better to have an engineer early on. But we'll definitely see some raiding, that's for sure. That's for certain sure. I don't know about having this engineer in the middle here, because now when he places the air factory, he's going to have to wait for the engineer to come out. So possibly could have been microed a little bit better at this stage in the game, where micro, well, you have a lot of potential to micro. So I was just suggesting that maybe engineers, or rather the T1 raiding parties will become later, but not so for Hatamoto. He is going for the T1 raid quite early on. Death Squad has chosen not to. What we might see is scouts coming out just to figure out what the enemy is up to. If knowledge is power, so if you can see the raid coming in sooner rather than later, then you can respond to it. Even if you just have a scout, a land scout, just seeing and keeping track and moving and just keeping the radar range, that is a good way to keep control of the situation, and then you can build the response that you want. So we've got the air factories up. Is that a bomber? This is a bomber! So we're going T1 bomber rush, that's always exciting. Interceptors up here already, so the T1 bomber rush isn't going to work very well. Maybe kill an engineer. We'll have to see. So it was a bold move, blind bomber rush, but has been very effective in the past. But blind counted here. He's got the air scout up with the bomber, which is good. You need the air scout to get the radar signatures for your bomber targets. And then the bomber can drop bombs on the first pass. So you don't have the air scout, that's not really viable. I like Death Squad has these engineers way out. He's just sending them out, just build the mexes, right? Ooh, land factories too, that's good. But send the engineers out on this map, you don't really have to escort them. And if they do kill them, then you lose an engineer. It's another one. They're expendable. Gotta get those mass extractors, that's a priority. Build the mass extractors. So engineer is scouted here. Will that be the first target for the bomber? I think so. But he's gonna have, he needs line of sight now to get the visual of the targets. So is this gonna work out for him? The bombs are dropping. Yep, that works out. So that engineer goes down. Good. So he shouldn't be able to get a second engineer, but he is. Maybe. Nope. Unless the crash was favorable, but it wasn't. Okay, so trade the bomber for one engineer. It was the forward engineer, so it would have delayed these mexes. I don't know if the trade was worth it, but very early on. But Hatamoto has, well, I want to say he has a priority, but he really doesn't. It's 3 interceptors versus 3 interceptors. Depending where the battle is fought, we're going to see some local air superiority. Eco-wise, they are very similar. Death Squad has a very marginal lead. Are we going to see T2 mexes? The reason why you might see T2 mexes at this stage of the game is just if you're if you're struggling to spend your mass. Otherwise, you'd much rather have your investments into developing the corners of the map. If you are struggling to get units there, then much better to upgrade a mech than waste mass. That's always the trouble. So preparations for the T1 spam are real, as well as a priority as well. I wonder if jesters are viable. I imagine they might be, but we might not see them. Not very popular. I'm going to turn down sound a little bit. One day I will have a good feel for what the sound needs to be. I think this might be loud enough. Okay, so this mech is being built up again, so that's good. We've got the first raiding parties coming up good. These balances are going to try and scurry along whatever this desolate landscape is, but there's vegetation here. So no matter how terrible the situation is, you can find life. That's what David Attenborough taught me as a child. No matter how inhospitable the environment is, you will find living things. And in this case, that's what is going to find Hatamoto, which is not where he wants to be. Moving the commander forward, I think, is definitely the better option. Death Squad, I think, should have done that. Oh, he has done that too, so let me not criticize him. You definitely want your commander forward, because that means you can completely neutralize a T1 run by like this with just your SU. So fairly mirrored at this point. Death Squad does have these mantises here, so he's going to try and keep them to just control the situation here. He's got mantises coming down in the bottom right hand corner too, but there's nothing really to fight here. We've got T2 mexes for Hatamoto at the moment. He's got one T2 mex down. Death Squad has started to upgrade the max. I don't hate this at all. There are so many T1 mexes on the map that the priority should just be claiming them rather than upgrading your own T2 mexes. Hatamoto does have a slight economy lead. What I'd rather, I'm quite disappointed. I would have liked to have seen both players try and do drops for these corners. These corners are actually really important on this map, and that would have been good. But there's enough T1 spam from Death Squad at this moment that any kind of engineer drop on either of the top right hand or the bottom left hand corners, bottom right hand and top left hand corners, would have just been completely squashed at this point. If there were going to be drops, they had to be sooner. Death Squad does have much more T1 spam at this point, which I think is good and right, which will allow him to get the corners. So if he can maintain the corners, that will definitely give him a very big advantage in the game. He does have engineers going up here, and he's just hungry down, right? These are his mexes, and he wants them, and that's good. He's not going to do much here. Hatamoto, he's got his T1 spam coming up real as well. It'll be interesting to see when they try and transition to T2. This terrain is a little bit uneven. Rhinos should be fine though. I don't think there'll be too many issues with rhinos. Always scouts coming through, so that's good. You never want to leave scouts in your enemy's base or tolerate your enemy leaving scouts in your base. That's just a big no-no. So you definitely want to clear those out with interceptors or just with something, right? Maybe just having a T1 turret here and there just to kill scouts can be helpful if the micro is a bit of a struggle. Got T2 mech down here, which is I would have thought on the core would have been a more favorable position, but not so. And yeah, T1 spam is real. Okay, there's fights here. Death Squad is definitely a disadvantage in this battle, but pushing forward, trying to cause trouble, pushing, just pushing forward. I wonder if T2 TMLs will be viable. Okay, so where are you going, buddy? There's no Pokemons down over here. You wanna get these mexes and start building. Walking around isn't gonna do you any good. I suppose Death Squad is definitely gonna be concerned about losing his SU here to T1 spam. So it's definitely gonna be a concern for him, but I wouldn't want to move him away. I would have rather brought the T1 spam to the commander rather than run the commander away. But Death Squad today being fairly cowardly, or rather the saying goes, what is the saying? Discretion being the better part of valor. That's the one. He's been very discretionary here now, deeply discretionary. T2 land. I have a feeling T2 land should be coming up very soon. Hey, we do have jesters. I was hoping we'd see jesters. I thought they'd be good on this map, so I'm glad to see that. There's no T1 AA in Hatamoto's forces yet, and he's going to be punished by this by the jesters. Death Squad does have enough. I don't know about this engineering conglomeration here. maybe a bit too clustered for my taste. There are a lot of stuff to reclaim here, so I like the fact that he's pushing hard into the reclaim, but you generally do want to not clump them quite so badly. Here too, those engines could definitely be better used, but as always in this game, micro is a bitch. It's the hardest part of this game, and if you can get good control of your micro, it will do you very well. Good, yeah, I wouldn't say just good micro, it's knowing what to micro. That's where this game is distinguished from other games like StarCraft and whatnot, where you just have to be a complete micro master. In this game, a much more important skill is knowing what you can micro, because you can't micro everything. It's not expected that you are able to micro everything. You just have to make the correct decisions on what to micro, and that's a skill that's quite hard to learn. Definitely comes to time and practice, and sometimes you can easily say, hey, this person did macro this thing well enough, but he probably chose not to macro that in lieu of macroing something else which would have led to better results. Which is why we see ridiculous power generation lines like this. It's just easy to just place and scroll. It'd be much better to have it squares and rectangles, have them around the factories, but too much effort. Too much effort. So I thought we'd see Jester spam, but for Jester is not Jester spam. Maybe he just feels that the window is small, he'll take advantage of it. If he just puts too many Jesters, I think he might just feel that he might not get good value for them. He has made sure he's got air superiority. We've got Ilshivas out now, so that's a T2. And here it is, it's up over here. So that's exciting. That's definitely going to give Hatamoto a huge advantage in the T1 fight. That definitely does mean that that's why it's definitely going to transition to things which aren't T1 spam. Possibly Rhinos, maybe just going for air control. These Jesters would do well to get tucked into these engineers, or maybe into the economy. There are so many shooting noises. That flak is gonna just, yeah, this is not where these Jesters need to be. This is a mistake. Shouldn't have gone around the sides, and then he might not have that issue. You've got T2 power up, got a lot of T2 power up from Hatamoto. The economy is still close. Hatamoto is a slight lead, even though Death Squad has ostensibly both the top left and bottom right corners. Hatamoto going for a more core tech industrial build. Death Squad needs a plan. He needs to get to T2 or he's going to lose his advantages. His territorial advantages. And if he loses those corners, he's just going to find himself in a worse position. Worser is a word. There we go. Hey, this is a poor choice from Death Squad. There's no need to be taking this fight. This is just a bad choice. He's got Ilshivas, he's got T1 PDs. This is just a mistake. There's no other words for it. This is World War 1 style, walking into machine gun fire. Except your bodies can be reclaimed for goodness. And no one really died because these are just robots, so that makes this better. Hey, so there's a push going over here. I don't know about that push. Completely futile. So there's a big T1 push here with the ACU. Maybe Death Squad is feeling that he's in an awkward position. He's marginally ahead in eco. He's not far behind. Hatamoto does have a huge power lead. I'm not sure if he needs it yet. We're going to get into more. Is this going T3 land? He might be rushing T3 land. I think that's what's happening here. So that will really be a surprise. Yo, those T3 siege tanks are going to cause serious trouble. So this is... Death Squad needs a plan, or this is going to go very poorly for him. Okay, he's going T3 land here, completely skipping T2. I'm not mad about that at all. I think it's a fairly appropriate thing to do. Hatamoto is going to take some while to push with his T2. With enough mantises you can kill Ilshivas, but does he have enough here? I don't think that he does. But I do like the fact that the engineers are just here reclaiming as best they can. They'll reclaim towards the Ilshivas. So here we've got a big push coming through with the ACU in front. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. I feel that the ACU might find himself extending horribly. Especially with the... I can't pronounce that word. The T2P defense. I don't know about this idea. Don't know about this idea at all. The ASU is thinking better of it and running away. I think discretion here is definitely viable or more appropriate. He's not going to gain anything here. And in the middle is being pushed back too. So he's definitely he's going to need bricks or loyalists. I think we'll go loyalists. Bricks. This map's too big for bricks. Too big for bricks. I kind of feel that, hey, maybe let's rush a monkey. Let's see how that happens. But I think he'll be punished much too fiercely at this stage of the game. I don't think he has an economy to rush a monkey. So loyalists, I think, will be the name of the game. Hey, that's a T3 engineer. So that's an engineer. Let's see what comes up next. Because this might be a monkey then. That's a loyalist. So maybe he just wants the engineer to be able to place a T3 PGen. Maybe that's what that engineer is for. I'm curious. I'm curious what his plans for that are. So Hatamoto is kind of comfortable to just in his quarter of the map to sit and chill. And if he ecoed harder, and he knows this, if he ecoed hard enough, he can maintain this position. I don't know if he knows if he ecoed hard enough. Giving your opponent the top left and the bottom right hand corners of this map is a very bold move, and I'm not quite sure I agree with it at all. He is getting the maxes in the middle a little bit. This is worth quite a lot of mass that he can claim, but satisfied with the maxes here. Ran into a lot of tier 1. Still the Oshivas. The Oshivas are pretty tough. Not sure if there's enough tier 1 here. But yep, here come the Othams. This guy's just this is real trouble. So we've got the loyalists coming out. Okay, where is that T3 engineer? You ran up to the front. Where are you going? Did Death Squad just I think he must have just... He's either forgotten about it, or he wants to build a Monkey Lord near the front. I'm not sure how a monkey is going to deal. I don't know if he has the economy to support it. He doesn't have a mass stockpile, so isn't enough to get the monkey down fast enough. I think he needs loyalists. The urgency now is fierce, because these Othams are going to start pouring through here, and don't know if it's enough to support it. He's upgrading his commander, probably engineering suite, maybe gun, because he wants the extra range for the overcharging for the Othams. That might be a very good choice. I like the fact that his command's under a shield, nice and safe. If there was tier 3 land, maybe he would have been interested in trying to keep his commander forward, going for some overcharges. Use mantis to help build. Ability from the mantis that's often neglected. Yeah, gun speed, starting stealth, cheeky. So definitely going to want to be able to overcharge the Othams. This is what those upgrades are for. Very viable. When there are only a few Othams, then or T3 land, overcharging can be very effective. Because you overcharge, to get 2 overcharges off, then this is just a blob of tier 1, and that's not scary at all. So it's getting his stealth, and yeah, getting his repair down on the commander. Okay, so these Oshivas have just barged down through here, causing trouble, killed these maxes. The reclaim is going to Hatamoto, which is going to give a huge advantage. And oh my goodness, look at that! Look at the economy lead that Hatamoto has. He's just sat back and ecoed, and he is in a dominating position here. So Death Squad's going to do something very interesting to maintain the game. So what's also happened now is Hatamoto's got the reclaim field, and there's a bunch of reclaim here, so he's gonna be able to upgrade his maxes as well. And tier 1 maxes, they don't do that much. Not when your opponent has T2 and T3 maxes. T2 maxes then are really not that helpful. Just as a take down an Otham, which is always cute. I imagine those Othams just got overcharged. What is Commander going to do? Where's that T3 engineer? Where's he gone? Hey! Okay, there is a monkey. But this monkey is going to be building very slowly. I thought that we might see a monkey. But, hey! And the loyalists have been mustered up here, where the Othams aren't. So, when he gets enough loyalists here, he should be able to punch through here, which will force a response from Hatamoto. But, the reclaim field will already have been consumed by Hatamoto, so... not sure there's much to gain there. So what's definitely giving Hatamoto the huge lead here, or not a huge lead here, is that he's upgraded his maxes, his core maxes, much more aggressively than Death Squad. Death Squad got the territory, the map territory, but not upgrading his maxes is leaving him quite far behind. Especially if he loses these corners now, he'll really be in a poor way. This Monkey Lord is building very slowly. A lull in the fighting, so Yeah, Hatamoto has got his TMDs down. Doesn't have to be reminded by losing something expensive to a TML to know to build his TMD, so that's good. So there is a lull. What's Hatamoto planning on doing? He just needs to continue to spam items, and I think that's a winning strategy for him. He would do well to scout the Monkey Lord, but with enough items he will be okay. But enough, how much is enough? What I hope when this Monkey Lord is done, it will be supported by Loyalists. If it is just sent in by itself and just dying, that always makes me sad. We've got Corsairs coming down, so these could really go a long way to try and equalize. Oh jeez. Okay, so yeah, Death Squad definitely less. Oh, that's not a TML. I thought that was a TML, but it's just T3 mobile arty. So, oh, that's a heap of items. Okay, so T3 mobile arty kills T1 spam. Sure, if that's the way you want to play it. Okay, Loyalists are gonna win here if they get in range, if they choose to fight. So this mass of T3 land is definitely going to force a response from Hatamoto, but what will it be? We will lose Loyalists here, but hopefully not too many. The EMP jamming is always fun and convenient. Really knocking down a lot. So he's clearing this up. I hope he has engineers behind to take advantage of it, but okay, Loyalists here taking T3 RT barrages. Hatamoto is still just content to sit behind there with his items, building them up, building point defenses to protect his position here, probably enough. Yeah, and yeah, this is the problem. Going for territory, this can bite you sometimes. If you can still be out equal if you go for territory, and then when your enemy comes and nullifies your territory, then you just start falling further and further behind the economy, and this is getting bad. His energy situation is not great either, so that's gonna make the situation worse. So Death Squad's definitely gonna have to do something very interesting to stay in this game. I've got a feeling the Monkey Lord is gonna be finished, he's gonna send it in, and he's gonna lose it, and that's probably gonna be the end of this game. That's my prediction. Where the Corsairs, still building enough Corsairs. Maybe go for a snipe of some description, but they'll have to be supported by a lot of other things, and nano repair, so that's gonna make the whole sniping situation less viable. This is definitely not looking good for Death Squad. Not at all. And he's got 6 T1 mechs just in the middle here, and I don't think Death Squad has realized that those mechs are there. And you could very easily deal with these just with a few T1, but choosing not to. Sin Madness is in, and why not? They're producers otherwise, and forcing some micro response from Hatamoto, but really not achieving anything. I think Hatamoto has definitely dropped the board on the scouting situation. I'm not sure if overall Death Squad was doing a much better situation in scouting. I mean, he's scouting his enemy space now, so that's good, but you always want to observe your enemy's Monkey Lord building it, and we've got a T3 scout coming down now, so Hatamoto should see that momentarily. Okay, so he's seen the Monkey Lord, and not sure if he's going to plan on doing anything immediately about it. If he just spams enough items, and I think he can spam enough items, that'll be fine. Will we see a chicken? Maybe. Don't think we need to. Hatamoto is just sitting back in the corner, just saying, "Come at me, bro. I got this." Okay, I don't know what these guys are doing here. These guys are going to T2 flak, and this is a mistake. This is a waste of resources. I don't like that at all. This looks like a drop coming in. Hatamoto has T3 air, Death Squad doesn't. T3 land bots are going to drop on something expensive. That's going to be terrible. The monkey is still... If this monkey was going to work, he had to build it very quickly. And he's building it the opposite of that. So he's dropping... here, I don't hate the drop... Oh, I was going for the engineers, right? That's not going to work. He's just going to overcharge them. So that was not quite sure about that plan. But definitely go for the engineers to try and delay the Monkey Lord. But there's enough engineers here to get build capacity on the Monkey Lord quick enough. Go for the engineers capacity on the T3 land, but otherwise they're not going to do too much damage. I say that, but they're duking these loyalists pretty something fierce. Definitely caused some disruption, definitely caused some damage, definitely gave some reclaim too. Yep, those engineers came down, they came to support the Monkey Lord. We got a bunch of T3 land here, some more fighting here. These Corsairs were, in my estimation, completely wasted. But what also happened here is that Death Squad just noted Hatamoto had T3 air, and he doesn't. So here's the Corsairs, so basically it was a use it or lose it situation. So that had to be the reason why he used them so inefficiently. This is too much for a monkey. That is too much for a monkey. But a monkey and loyalists, something might happen. I don't think so. Like, just gunships or strat bombers. That Hatamoto has so many options for dealing with that Monkey Lord that I don't really think he should be worried at all in the slightest. And with that economy lead, that's just something fierce. Death Squad does have a superiority in T3 land up here. There's a lot of eco here in reclaim that I think he should be definitely focusing on getting. Doesn't seem to be prioritizing engineers here to get that reclaim. And he's about to lose his T3 land advantage in the north. He's got nothing in the south to stop this mass of units. All his hopes and dreams are pinned on this Monkey Lord, and it is doomed to fail. That Monkey Lord has no chance, I'm afraid. He needs so much support from T3 land, which he doesn't have. I kind of feel if he has any chance, he has to bring all his T3 land to the monkey. Hey, good job. And then push with the monkey just right for the eco in the middle or the ACU. But that monkey's going to have so much land support to be able to get through what here is. And then somehow he also has to figure out how to protect the Monkey Lord from any kind of air. Are we still going for ASFs? Hatamoto of course could just go for a strat snipe on Death Squad. Okay, that Monkey Lord is up, it will go straight in, it has to. His window of opportunity I think is already closed. But he's going to go in for the funsies, he's going to go in for the explosions. And be bold, eh? West, wild, wild west. That's what this guy always reminds me of, is that spider in that movie with Will Smith. The spider didn't work in that movie either. And with the T3 engineer dead, he can't even place a new one, even if he wanted to. So it looks like the Monkey Lord is going to go for the top. I guess his feeling is that the only way he can win this game is if he kills the ASU through some small miracle. He's got some T3 land here, so a fair bit, but Othams, right? So if Hatamoto leaves these units down here and Death Squad is able to get an advantage in T3 land up here with the monkey, he might be in for a shot. I don't like his odds, but it is the best plan that I think there is. I'm still surprised that Hatamoto hasn't got any T3 airplay, any kind of gunshots or strap bombs. He's got complete air superiority. He could just be strap bombing the back of Death Squad's base to just oblivion, and there wouldn't be anything Death Squad could do about it. He could of course be dropping strat bombs on the Monkey Lord as well, and there'd be nothing Death Squad could do about it too. The gunships are coming out, which I'm glad to see, because yeah, Death Squad will need some kind of mobile flak AA to deal with this. And some more drops coming in. It looks like that drop will land. Will it land? Nope, that's not going to land. But this is exactly what I didn't want to see with the Monkey Lord. This is absolutely not what I want to see. And I've seen this happen so many times. You're building a Monkey Lord, you throw it in. This is his one chance to do something with this game. If this monkey fails, it's GG. He's got no other options. And he's not been supported with his land forces. He's just going to get this thing killed. If these land forces were with it, at least he'd have a chance. Or at least that would be his best chance if his land forces with his Monkey Lord. But don't like this at all. Okay, he's being cowardly. So his options are getting fewer and fewer and fewer. This Monkey Lord has been dilly-dallying, I feel. He has to be very aggressive with it and has to do a lot of work. Look, I don't think it will work, but he has to support with everything he has. Because when this thing dies, it's the end of the game for him. It's kind of skirmishing with the Monkey Lord with these guns. Maybe he's trying to go for an optimal angle. Maybe he's getting one a little bit here. Getting kills. Maybe he's just trying to build up a little vet before going in. I would love to hear what his motivations are for this kind of dawdling. But the gunships are coming in. He doesn't have the anti-air force that he needs. I think he's just trying to get a good angle, trying to get some kills, trying to get some vet. Yeah, trying to get... Okay, at least he doesn't charge in straight. He's trying to get some good angles in fights, but I like the fact that he drew the gunships in before sending his interceptors in. Oh jeez. Is he getting the vet that he needs? Maybe. Maybe. He's cleared the gunships mostly. He's got that. He's killed a bunch of stuff, but he has no hit points left. So the best option, the best thing that this Monkey Lord can do is basically just go back, get some back, get some more health, regen, but he hasn't done enough to win the game. He's still got more than less than half the eco that his opponent has, and he's building T3P gens. He's got no good options. Hey, maybe he's gonna go for a tele laser. I think he's definitely desperate enough to need to do that. He needs some anti-air for this monkey. He needs it. And he's building these engineers, so that's fun. These gunships won't be enough on their own to kill the Monkey Lord. There's still room to get some more vet, which is nice. These should have been supporting the Monkey Lord's push. These guys going in now, I think, is foolish. The monkey didn't do enough damage to give these guys the opportunity. And I think he had one roll of the dice ready to just roll with the monkey and the T3 land. He played conservative with the monkey, and under the normal circumstances I would actually be pretty pleased with his performance with the Monkey Lord. I like the way he didn't lose it. He killed a lot. Look, he killed a lot of stuff with the Monkey Lord, and he didn't lose it. Those are just great features of play. Conservative, and he got stuff done. The problem is that maybe he doesn't know just how far behind he is, and maybe he didn't realize that this was a this was an all or nothing play. I really respect the fact that this thing is still alive and got 100 kills, a lot of those being tier 3 land. So in that respect, he used it well. He drew in the gunships well, and then he sent his tier 1 interceptors at them and managed to kill or clear the gunships even without T3 air. Now this needs to be a tele laser. Otherwise, there's just nothing else he can do. Hatamoto doesn't have tele TD. He does have nano regen, but that won't be enough. These gunships could not enough, but maybe soon to be enough to be able to actually get a comm snipe. I think Hatamoto is all the T3 land is here, and Death Squad is just realizing there's an opportunity here to do some damage with the Monkey Lord. So I really like that. No room for more vet here, so these are the hit points that he gets. So against these gunships, it will die. I don't think there's any question about that at this point. I don't think he can tank this amount of gunships for any length of time. I don't think. I could be wrong. I mean, no, that isn't going to survive. Surely not. And more gunshots will come in. No, it's in the red. So that's going to be a mass gift to Hatamoto. So this needs to be ready, because when the Monkey Lord is dead, Hatamoto will realize, well, what you got? Why are you still in the game? Why aren't you quitting? What are your plans? And that's exactly what Hatamoto is going to think. And now he is going to do some scouts, and he's going to figure out he's going for a tele laser. and he needs to scout that tele laser. He knows he's in the winning position. He knows he's thwarted his opponent completely down. Okay, so he's got stealth and tele laser, or just laser. He's not going for tele. What are your plans? How are you? Why are you still in the game? What are you trying to do? Are you going to try to go for cloak as well? That would be bold. But Death Squad has absolutely nothing to be able to do with these gunships. He doesn't have the flag. He's not even building flag. He's still just building T3 land. Oh, I think he lost this game a long time ago. So there's a transport coming down now. So is that for the ACU? He's going to try and... Okay, so the ACU has cloak. Where are you going? Okay. So the scout came in. Now he's juking with his transport. He's trying to make it not obvious. He's going to load the transport with the ACU. Maybe Hatamoto doesn't pick that up. So we're going to go in Hatamoto's view. So he doesn't see it. Okay, so the ACU is going to come in for a drop next to the ACU. I can't imagine this is going to work. It's a huge Hail Mary. It's appropriate at this stage of the game. Hatamoto hasn't scouted it. He must know Death Squad is up to something. Otherwise he would have quit. Okay? With the Monkey Lord going down, having lost complete air superiority. There it is. That's a problem. It's scouted. But does Hatamoto realize... Does he realize something's up? His ASFs are here. He's on the radar now. There must be an Omni about. The interceptors are going in. It is not going to work. Okay, are you going to... yeah, that's it. That's GG. The ACU didn't land. That's the end of this game. So the basic key features of this game was Hatamoto ecoed harder in the top right hand corner, basically not contesting the corners of the map too much. Death Squad went aggressively for the corners, he went aggressively tier 1 land. Hatamoto went aggressive, not aggressive, but he went Ilshivers and then quickly into Othams. And basically at this point, Death Squad was just left too far behind in the eco. He got the territory control, but he just didn't invest enough in upgrading his economy. And Hatamoto was able to just basically sit back, right? And his opponent come to him and kind of react and riposte to his blows. The Monkey Lord, he used it very well. He didn't lose it. It got a lot of damage done, got a lot of kills done. So he actually used the Monkey Lord well, but I don't think he realized how terrible a situation he was in. And maybe if he did realize how terrible a situation he was in, he might have grouped it up with all his land and gone for the ACU kill. It probably wouldn't have worked, but at that point in the game, not much would have worked. Okay, that's me for this game. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you see you next time. Okay, bye.